Okay, so I'm just putting another coat of the satin top coat over the whole piece. We're just sealing this all up. So if I have any little loose pieces on here, this is going to catch them and seal it all up. Let me pull this camera up. Hello. Okay, so this has the Pentart Crackle on it, the two-step. And you can really clearly see the crackle on here because I rubbed the bronze Dixie Belle bronze gilding wax into it, into the cracks. And let me see if there are cracks. There are, honestly, there are a few little cracks that cracked after. Actually, there's a lot of cracks. There are a lot of cracks on here that cracked after I put the bronze into it. Hi, Nancy. Yes, that paper that I'm using today is linked up at the top in the description. And it's for sale on both my Etsy and my own person. It comes labeled step 1, step 2. And we're going to start with step 1. And I don't think I have to stir it, but let me just be double sure. Apply the first component onto the surface. After complete drying, apply the second component using a brush or your fingers. The crackles can be highlighted by rubbing solvent-based coloring into the surface. Let dry for a day, then apply the Pentart solvent varnish to make the surface waterproof. I'm going to give this one more quick dry because I really want it dry. There we go. I'm just drying, you guys. All right, I don't feel any sticky, so hopefully I've given it enough drying time. All right, and it doesn't say stir, but that makes me nervous now. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a good stir. This has been sitting for a while. Okay, so this is part 1. Part 1. And all I have to do is just put one coat on. And it's pretty amazing because I bought big jars the second time because I love this product so much. And I've had it for a long time because my smaller jars of it really did go far and lasted a long time. And I know there's lots of retailers that you can buy from. I got mine from L&J Goods. Is who I bought the Pentart from. Just making sure I get a nice even coat on here. Okay, so I think I have a pretty even coat on here. So again, I got to dry, dry, dry. It's taking a long time and it feels a little tacky. So that was part one. Here's part two. Just look at the instructions again. After complete drying, apply the second component. Hi, Lynn. Yeah, the second one is dark, but it will dry clear. That still feels not wet. It just feels a little tacky. And it's been a while since I've used it. And usually I'm not holding the piece in my hands. It's usually a piece laying on the table. Looks a little cloudy there. Thanks, Lynn. I think that tissue paper does a really good job for decoupaging a piece like this. Oh, Lynn. Well, you know, before when I said it felt tacky, it feels like I would expect it. And I see it's very clear. It still has a slight tacky, but I think that's a normal, where before it was like more than just tacky. And I'm just letting it cool down, and then we'll give it a try. I've done this in a 1-hour class before, so we should be okay. If it's been sitting for a while. Stir, stir, stir. Looks a little milky right there. And because everything is shiny now, it's also hard to see where you start and finish. So that's a little tricky on a piece like this. Because I do know if you miss a spot putting this on and then you go to rub your gilding wax on, you'll see it right away that you missed a spot. So I'm trying to pay attention. It kind of pooled down there a little bit, so I just was like scooping it out. Whoever invented this process is a genius. That we can take a plastic pumpkin and put paper on it and then make it look like it's porcelain. Pretty smart. Okay, so while I'm painting this on, let's talk about, originally I was going to paint the stem on here. Originally I was going to paint it gold, a really pretty, really high shine gold. And then today, when I got the idea to use the Pentart on here, then I was thinking about, okay, I don't want to put bronze in the cracks on this. This is what I want your opinion on. I could use gold in the cracks, and keep in mind they're very fine cracks, so I don't think it'll be overpowering. Or I could use silver gilding wax in the cracks and paint the stem a really pretty silver. So what do you guys, how do you feel about that? Gold, gold, gold. Okay, you ladies made it really easy. It drains into the center there and pools. So I keep going in there and pulling it back out. Okay, I'm thinking I've gone all the way around. So now I need to go get my top done. And I'm just trying to make sure I got it on, because I did, you know, 3/4 of the way down. Because if you miss a spot, you really see it when you go to rub that gold on. Okay. More drying. This is the last time we have to dry. I'm happy to report I am seeing crackles. Woohoo! This is a Vidal Sassoon that I got at the Goodwill 5 years ago, and it's still going strong. I think that's a spot right there that I didn't get very much on. But it is crackling. I don't know if those are spots that I missed, but they look a little suspicious. And I'd rather just be safe than sorry. I don't know if I'm just dabbing the same place, but there's like a dull spot there. The high gloss makes it look like real porcelain, doesn't it? You'd never know this was a plastic pumpkin. Okay, I'm going to let it just cool down a bit while I dig out my silver, or my gold. We decided gold. Okay, so I'm just going to be using the Dixie Belle Gold Gilding Wax. I've had this for at least 4 years, maybe a little longer, and I've used it a lot. So that gives you some indication of how long it lasts. I'm just gonna get some on my fingertip like that. And I'm going to just start, I'm gonna stand up. Just rubbing it in to the cracks like that. And then I just take my paper towel and just brush it back. And it's leaving it right inside. Oh my gosh, the gold is super pretty, you guys. And you just want to do a section at a time. Don't go crazy and put all your gold on and then try to go back and wipe it off. Can you guys see the gold in there? So I dampened my paper towel, and it does not like that, so don't do that. Yeah, the microfiber cloth works nicer. You can use a fine powder to do this also. Well, let me hold this back up again and see if you can see these cracks, because they are filling in really nice. And I've always used paper towel in the past, but I don't know if it's because I rushed this or what, or I've never used gold. I've always used bronze, and it wants to stay on a little more, which is okay because the gold sheen on here is pretty. Let's see, so keep in mind they're really fine, like right there. Can you see? I think when I paint the gold on the stem, that will be really pretty too. So it looks like there's a spot right there where I didn't get enough medium on, so I want to avoid putting gold over the top of it. So I'm just going to go up above it. These cracks will continue to crack for quite some time. So it wouldn't matter if I just did this today and then just let it sit overnight and then came back and did this gilding wax tomorrow. But it's definitely got good cracking on it, you guys. I mean, I remember the very first time I used this product, and I told everybody it was the first time and I'd never used it before, and so we were just going to see how it worked. And it took longer for those little cracks to show up than I thought they would. But boy, when they showed up, they show up, and then I was so thrilled with the result. But it's always a little scary to do something on a live like this. Lynn, don't ever feel bad. Don't ever feel bad. Especially because you weren't the only one. Somebody else said that they had seen other people having trouble too. So then it just made me question, is there like a bad batch out there? And I've had this probably, because it lasts a lot longer than you would think it would. And so I've had this unopened for probably a year, because the other that I had lasted a long time. And so I was like, well, did I let it sit too long? But this has got nice crackle, you guys. It's probably hard to see on the camera. I'll hold it back up there in just a second. And the gold is leaving just a slight gold sheen on it, but in the light that looks really pretty. So let me see. Are you guys able to see it? I know you can see the gold sheen, but I'm not sure if you can see the actual crackle. Yeah, you sort of can. It shows better on my end. And tomorrow when I get it all crackled, I'll try to take a really good picture of it. I might have to take it out into the daylight. Okay, so this is a really good spot. Let me see if I can get that up in the camera. Is that showing? Yeah, that shows much better. So that's what it's looking like all over. And then it still has kind of a gold sheen, because not all of the gilding wax wipes off. Okay, and there's a spot right there that I didn't get enough on, and looks like a whole little area there, and the gilding wax will just stick really hard. So I'm going to just avoid that area. I think tomorrow I'll go back over it with some more of the stuff. I was trying to see, I think what I'm going to do is just stop at this point and let it continue to crack, and Then tomorrow I'll take a nice picture of it. And post it up for you guys. But I am liking it. And then tomorrow I will also paint the leaf, not the leaf, just the stem on here with the gold. And I think it'll look pretty. Yes, it's Pentart. It's Pentart's Crackle, the 2-step. This is step 1. And this is step 2. Thanks, Lynn. I'm happy with it too. I think it doesn't show up on the camera because the light catches that gold on there and makes it look yellowish, and it doesn't look like that in person. So I think I'm going to just stop for the night and continue on it tomorrow, and then I'll post a picture tomorrow of it finished. In parts where the gold stays on there on the surface is actually pretty because it just adds a real pretty sheen. So I'm going to say goodnight. Thank you guys so much for hanging in here. That was a long time. You guys hung in here for 2 hours today. That was a long time. I'll take pictures tomorrow and post it for you guys, and you guys have a great evening. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate you.